All right, so Snowden Thursdays have become Snowden Thursdays. You've joined me every Thursday on the podcast on News4Jax Plus. I love talking with you because you've helped work through some things for all of us, during this holiday. I think that it's really important to note that not every family is joyous, right? We talked about the not so jolly holidays last Thursday, but this is about those family members that sometimes get on your nerves. You have to bite your tongue. Those conversations that are not productive, that are probably going to happen no matter what you do. So Snowden, thanks for joining us again.
So happy to be here. Yes, this is the season where emotions run high. You were talking about those incidents today. I don't know what that's about. I do know that there's a lot of emotions out there, and the first message is be kind. You have no idea what other people are dealing with. Just be kind to each other. Have patience and just try and be kind. But yeah, families can be tough. It can be a tough
I
time.
notice, and the more I talk to people and I listen instead of talk, you realize that a lot of people, they are going through so many crazy things. And you think, like today someone even said, I thought my life was bad. And then you can talk to the person to the right and the left and you hear a much different story. So that kindness goes a long way.
Yeah, you don't have any idea what other people are dealing with. None at all. But go ahead.
Let me just quote this stat because I thought it was kind of surprising because my family, we manage each other very well. Like I think we walk out whenever it gets a little high.
That's awesome.
I'll go for a walk. If I go for a walk, then that's not good. All right, but 40% of families argue during the holidays, and a third of those conflicts can turn into lasting rifts. So you're saying that they get in a fight and it may last all year long?
Not only that, some people actually change their wills because of those fights. Yes, they do. So be careful, chill out. Don't take it so seriously. Don't get so upset and so uptight. And there are things you can do to make it easier for yourself.
Okay, tell us now because somebody's listening and it's like, I need
if you're traveling to go see your family like we're going to be doing, and you know that it's volatile, stay in a hotel. Don't stay at home and rent a car so that you've got freedom. You can come and go. You can be there for the fun parts, and then you can leave when you need to. So set yourself up for success that way. One of the other things you want to do is make some ground rules with everybody. You decide we're not going to talk politics this year especially. We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk about any sensitive family issues. We're going to have fun together. And then don't serve alcohol. We've got a graphic about that. I mean, that's the thing that triggers a lot of people.
And if you know that, about yourself, or you know that about someone that you're with, you got to have a plan for that. Because I think it's hard to say no alcohol around the holidays, because I think that brings people together sometimes. But if you know that it does the opposite for you, then you need to make better decisions.
Make a holiday punch, have eggnog, get people involved with it. Don't get stuck in it.
Let me ask though about that, the kind of the boundaries, because sometimes it's hard if you're with like your in-laws or and maybe your hubby or you're having the time of your life and they're not, and you don't want to seem like you're not part of the family or that you want to be distant. So you setting those boundaries, you have to have a plan to kind of say, or maybe even a code word with your spouse.
Absolutely, it's a great idea, and that will and my husband and I have a thing where I just gently touch his leg, and he knows like if we're getting to a point, I'll just gently lean over, and he's great that way. And when in doubt, don't speak about it. Don't say, don't comment. Even if somebody baits you, don't go.
Talk.
Don't.
I've been listening to someone like on the way to work. He's actually an attorney. It's interesting, but he's got great advice. But he's like, speak slowly. And sometimes you don't even have to respond, which is the hardest thing for us. You're always trying to prove yourself. You always have a point you want to make. But sometimes just this, like, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Like, you don't have to respond to everything.
No.
You've talked about, some of the tensions even for you growing up, and that, you've had some challenges. So you really have to navigate this. You have navigated it, so you know that it works.
I do, and I'm grateful. I have wonderful in-laws and a huge family. My husband's side of the family is wonderful. I don't have much of my own blood family left, but I have a huge family on my husband's side. So, but it's a lot still. I mean, there's a whole bunch of us. There's over 40 of us and lots of little kids. And so there are times I have to just go take a break. I might go outside, take a walk with one particular relative, and we just go get outside and get some exercise. Exercise is a great way to deal with the stress. So, that's the #1 panacea according to the...
Nobody wants to do it. But keep going. I'm just thinking like nobody wants to work out, but you're right.
Well, even if you just put on your jacket and you go for a quick walk around the neighborhood, that's a great way to
It's
exercise.
true. It is true. Lately, because I've been kind of tired because life has been a lot lately.
Yes.
But I'm in my room and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, why am I so tired? I'm like, just get up and walk that dog, and I will take Sadie out and we'll go for a walk, and I'll feel so much better.
You do, and you get your endorphins going, and you feel good. Also, make sure that you spend time to play with the family. You know, whether you're making gingerbread houses. I found this really cool thing online about coloring tablecloths. We have a graphic of this where the whole family gets together and everybody colors. So instead of fighting or picking at each other, you're sitting there coloring and laughing and having a great time.
Coloring is really special. It does. It kind of calms you when you work together. And just don't fight over what colors you get to use.
That's right. And you shift into the right side of the brain, the gratitude side. And that's another thing you can do. You play the gratitude game. Not what are you thankful for. What you do in this one is you pick somebody's name. If you have a big group, you pick somebody's name. Everybody picks a different name. And you tell that person, hey, Melanie, you know, one of the things I love about you is that your beautiful heart and spirit. And you just share that. And that's what everybody does. And it touches into their heart, and people feel closer to each other.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking, what if no one has anything nice to say? You're like, can I switch names with you?
There's always something nice you can find to say about somebody.
There's always something nice.
Yeah, there's always. You can find one thing at the very least. And then do community service projects. I know a lot of families who do that. I've got a great story about Elf Louise in San Antonio, Texas. I actually interviewed this woman from my book Fired Up years ago. 57 years ago, when she was just in college, her dad had passed away. She wanted to answer the wishes of children who didn't have anybody taking care of them for Santa Claus. And so what she did is she went and she took the letters. She went to the post office. They didn't want to give her the letters. They said, no, that's the U.S. mail.
Right.
She kept going back and going back. She finally got the letters of kids, and she went around to strangers and said, read this. And people donated gifts the first year. Now, over 150,000 children have been served over the past 57 years.
She started this in college?
Yes, and 4,500 volunteers come together every year.
50,000 square feet building?
That's a warehouse that they get to use that is donated to them, and then 30,000 gifts a year. A year. It's amazing.
Elf Louise!
Yeah, she's doing it. So, I mean, this is a story of hope and inspiration, and they're still going strong. It's amazing. And I met her. She's an amazing woman.
I mean, even that story just makes you smile.
Doesn't it?
It
does.
And you don't have to do it that big, you know, you can do something small as a family.
Right.
Also, I mean,
we're
also
socks
blessed
together for the homeless.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah,
There's a
we're
way
very
that we can
blessed.
give. Okay, so for anyone who's maybe feeling anxious already about the holidays, what's the most important reminder that you want them to hear right now?
That you can take care of yourself, find the joy, and find one person that you can connect with, one person that's safe, one person who can give you a good touch, a hug or a touch. Just find one person.
I love that. That's good. All right, Snowden.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
So I know that you're going to join me in January, and we're going to tackle those resolutions, and we're going to turn them into something else.
Yes, we are.
To think about as we get better, we get stronger, we get more connected, we find more joy, all the good stuff in the new year. But we're going to power through December and make it a good one too.
That's right.
All right, safe travels.
My pleasure.
Great to see you. All right, so coming up after the break, we have a story about a local farmer who says that he is going to lose $1 million, not because of weather, but because of a delay in federal visas. So John Acebus, my cohort at 9 o'clock, he is going to come and unpack this story about how the government shutdown is leaving crops in the field and what it could mean for farmers, and then our bottom line. So John will join me after a short break.